Good evening and welcome to Amy Park in Melbourne for the second match of today's doubleheader as we head into a Liberty A-Leagues clash between Melbourne Victory and Newcastle Jets. Defending champions Melbourne Victory are looking to make it 3 wins on the trot after a slow start to their current campaign, whilst Newcastle are looking to bounce back from a thumping 5-1 defeat at the hands of Melbourne City on the road last week. It's been just shy of 5 years, or 1,815 days, since the Jets last won against Victory, and they'll have a real job to do as they endeavour to break that drought. Victory, meanwhile, may be eyeing the chance to add to their list of biggest ever wins in club history. The 2 biggest wins on their ledger coming against the Jets, 7-0 in 2020 and 6-0 in 2013. Let's take a look at the team lineups. Melbourne Victory, their starting 11 remains unchanged from last week's win against Perth, while they do welcome in new international replacement signing. Ricky Madsen as a replacement for Catherine Zimmerman. While the Newcastle Jets, their lineup, they will see Claire Coelho step into goals, replacing Georgina Worth, who drops back to the bench. They'll still be without Tessa Tamplin, who due to a late leg strain, while Cassidy Davis, their captain, has overcome concussion to start today's game. Interesting to see too, looking at both benches, attacking options on both benches to throw into the game. You've got the likes of Tara Andrews and Adriana Konjarski with the Jets, and as you touched on, Ricky Madsen, who's a little bit of an unknown to plenty of Australian fans, joining as a replacement international player for the Victory. So there'll be, I guess, an injection late in the game from both sides. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Jeff Hopkins, as we touched on just there, one of the more successful coaches in A-League women's history. He's got them to bounce back from their 2-game losing start, and now an opportunity to go 3 on the trot. To take a look at Casey Rybelt, who will officiate this afternoon's game. She'll be assisted by Janelle Samet and Jasmine Steger. The 4th official will be Shab Rashan. He'll see Newcastle Jets coach Ashley Wilson. Just had a bit of an up and down start to the season, and we're hoping the Jets can bounce back, as we touched on, from that 5-1 loss last week, also in Melbourne. Someone that we're looking to stop, that'll be Melina Ayres, and she's in a real purple patch of form at the moment. She scored 3 goals in the last 2 games, and her form today up front for Melbourne Victory will go a long way to determining whether they continue that push and make it 3 on the trot and push towards the top 4 in the Liberty A-Leagues. The captain, Cassidy Davis, one of their longest serving, over 100 games in the Jets colours. Alexandra Chidiac to get us underway, playing at the head of the attack alongside Melina Ayres. And underway here at Amy Park. Victory looking to go on the attack early. Broken up quite quickly. The Jets coming down their right. We're looking to string together a little bit of opportunity here. They've created as many chances as almost any in the A-League Women's this season. Their conversion up front certainly been a challenge for them so far this season, Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of that final third clinical finishing has been what's lacking there for the Jets, and as we saw in that last play, just Brodigan drifting herself into a slightly offside position.
There's an opportunity in the box for Chidiac. Easily dealt with by Claire Coelho. She'll be looking to make the most of an opportunity returning to the starting lineup today. She's been the first choice shot stopper for the Jets for the last couple of years, and supplanted at the start of the season by Georgina Worth, but steps back in today, and we'll be expecting probably a big performance from Claire Coelho. Brodigan lays it off for Griffith. Looking for options, turns back inside. Had Agnew steaming down the wing, but the through ball instead looking for Allen. Dumont though out and dealt with it easily. Brodigan now. Brodigan, Dumont. Scraps ball out. He dealt with in the end. They get away with that one. You see Victory now in the attack, parried away by Coelho. Clearance there. Leah Puxty. We've got a penalty awarded.
Look, it was a coming together in this challenge here. Puxty, unfortunately, it is a penalty You can see she didn't mean to do that one, but nonetheless, she's absolutely caught the foot on that occasion. And Casey Rybelt, referee, has taken a moment to think about it, but really assertively pointed to the penalty spot. And Claire Quayler, she will be tested here.
She's going to have her work cut out for her. As we touched on in the intro, Melina Ayres, 3 goals in the last 2 games. She'll be looking to continue that run of form. As you say, very unfortunate for Puxy there, but no mistaking. She collected the boot. Ayres, easy as you like, in the bottom right corner, opens the scoring for Melbourne Victory. Melina Ayres, 4 goals in 3 games, and Melbourne Victory take the early lead at Amy Park. Melbourne Victory 1, Newcastle Jets 0.
Well, that is a really professional finish there by Melina Ayres. Steps up confidently. Again, as we mentioned, disappointing one there for Puxty, but Claire Quayler, she's picked the right way, just doesn't quite have the reach. There's enough behind that from Ayres, and that's a neatly tucked away penalty.
See it again here. Ayres into the bottom right-hand corner as she faces up. Quayler does everything she can, but just couldn't quite even fully outstretched reach that one.
Melina Ayres, she's opened the scoring in the last 2 fixtures against the Phoenix, against Perth, and the Victory have gone on to win those games, and she's coming through with confidence and form at the moment, is Ayres.
She certainly is. All games where they've scored first this year, they've gone on to win Victory. So the Jets, a lot of work to do, but they'll take a free kick in the attacking half here. Certainly will, as we see the free kick coming into the box, spills onto the ground, chip just wide. Again, the Jets left wanting when it comes to finishing inside the 18-yard area. Certainly almost epitomises what the Jets' season's been so far. They've had plenty of chances, created plenty, but it's just about that finishing and the amount of times throughout the season when a chance that hasn't been finished is then rolled into the opposition going on the counter or having an opportunity of their own very soon thereafter. So I'm sure Ash Wilson will have been working on this during the week, but certainly not the start they were wanting. As we see the ball go into the box, Ayres looking for a second, gets outside Quaylo and just dabs it in to the left-hand corner this time. And Melina Ayres is in absolutely red-hot form. Her second goal in 90 seconds, and she doubles the Melbourne Victory lead 2-0 and gets her 5th goal of the season.
Well, talk about a team goal there. That was a delightful play there from Melbourne Victory. From the back of the field, that little ball through from Chidiac is just exquisite. But the ball back from Morrison, it found Chidiac in the middle of the park, out to Privatelli, back to Chidiac, and how about this? Cheeky outside of the right foot finish by Melina Ayres, and she is flying. Yeah, it's been a really heartwarming return for Kayla Morrison, as we saw in A-League's All Access. The journey and the return from that ACL rupture has been a really difficult one, as it is for so many players.
You see a challenge here. In free in the box. Not quite where Melina Ayres would have wanted that pass. Broken up by the Jets. A couple of players go to ground there. And all of a sudden, and that will be a foul. Possibly a card coming out here for Elise Kellard-Knight. First card of the match. Throws it in behind. And for Chidiac, he does well to keep it inside byline. Threads it into the box well. And well done there, Beattie Goad. Plays it into the heels of Cannon Clough and earns the corner. Corner comes in, well weighted. And headed into the net. Kayla Morrison. Perfectly placed from the corner. Waited at the back of the pack. Heads it back across goals. And Claire Quaylo with no time to react. Melbourne Victory 3, Newcastle Jets 0. And unfortunately for the Newcastle Jets, this is shades of last week again as they continue to leak goals. A third goal from a perfectly weighted corner here.
Well, there she is, Kayla Morrison, completely unmarked at the back post there. The heartbeat of this club at Melbourne Victory. That's a really neat finish. A solid header. Claire Quaylo with nothing to do on that one, but Newcastle Jets, they've got to have someone on her. They've got to have a body closer to Morrison there. That's a really easy finish.
Certainly was a quality finish from Morrison. All of a sudden she's pushing forward and injecting herself again. Goad around the outside into some space. Go to the edge of the 18-yard box, crosses it in. Quaylo gets a hand to it and pushed over the bar. Alex Chidiac nearly added a 4th.
It's quickly going from bad to worse here for the Newcastle Jets.
Certainly is. They're going to have to pull something out of the fire to turn this around. Otherwise, they face a repeat of last week's match. Long range shot. Well done by a diving Claire Quaylo to parry that one away and out of danger this time around. But what a shot by Alana Murphy from long range.
I love that from Alana Murphy, the youngster, 17 years old. It took her a few games to find her way into this starting 11. But this is a familiar sight from the youngster. She's got a great shot from range, and Claire Quaylo's done well to push that one out for a corner, but I love the confidence from the youngster here.
So now Victory with a free kick. And Kayla Morrison with a second goal. Taps it past Claire Quaylo. Surrounded by teammates immediately. I'd have to be close to the first of Morrison's career for the Victory, where she's managed to bury 2 in the back of the net, and we're not even at half time yet. It's Melbourne Victory 4, Newcastle Jets 0. Grace, things just go from bad to worse for Newcastle.
Oh, it's a beautiful delivery there from Beattie Goad, but once again, you can see Kayla Morrison just drift into that far post completely unmarked defensively. The Jets are just allowing her to run through, and you can see what that means to Kayla Morrison. A nice finish regardless.
So both teams taking the opportunity, and okay, having the confirmation now, no change for Melbourne Victory. So it is now the Jets heading from right to left of your screen. Sarah Griffith, a lofted ball through for Agnew. Agnew in the box. Casey Dumont out to take that. Good opportunity for the Jets. Hopefully not a repeat of the first half, where they started with the best of it before leaking 4 quick goals. You see Gemma Simon playing it through. Ayres now on. Ball loose in the box. Dealt with by the Jets. In terms of the half-time chats, Grace, what would you think of being the conversation in the Newcastle Jets change room at 4-0 down?
Yeah, look, that's a pretty heavy change room. 4-0 down at half-time.
The options of Andrews and Garnier for height, setting up at the front line of the 18-yard box. Agnew comes in, strikes, easily dealt with. Not quite enough power to challenge Casey Dumont. Ball collects Casey Rybert on the way through, allows it to play on. King for Garnier. Lofted ball, again looking for Lauren Allen. This time Brodigan lays it off for Allen. Sorry, for Griffith. She takes a long range shot and just over the crossbar. Starting to look a little bit more threatening and a little bit more promising for the Jets. And here it is again, Griffith on the ball. Pushes it through into the box of Brodigan. Cops a little check and loses a footing and slides into Casey Dumont.
Yeah, that's an awkward one there. Casey Dumont frustrated with that. Brodigan's pleading her case, saying she was nudged into the oncoming Dumont. Well, huge opportunity here for Miranda Templeman. Best wishes, of course, to Casey Dumont, though she does look to be in a bit of trouble and just struggling to get up.
Have another look at the lead up to the contact, and you see a little nudge there from Claudia Barnes that just sees Ash Brodigan lose her balance and slide in there, and unfortunately her knees collecting Casey Dumont, and we wish her all the best. Recent injury replacement for Kath Zimmerman on loan from North Carolina Courage in the US competition. We see a long range shot from the Newcastle Jets, and they're on the scoreboard. Sarah Griffith, it looks like, from long range outside the 18-yard box, and what a tough start for Miranda Templeman. Just caught off her line. Griffith spotted it, and as we'll see here, outside the 18-yard box, turns it back inside. The long-range shot, and does well outside of the reach of Templeman, and the Newcastle Jets are on the scoreboard. Newcastle Jets 1, Melbourne Victory 4. Foul going the way of Victory, and Victory quick to take it on and get the ball to the feet of Madsen. Good touch to get on the outside with her first touch. Takes a shot. A diving Claire Quaylo parries it away, and we'll see a corner. Now Brodigan on the outside. Plays the ball back in. Griffith with her pace into the 18-yard box. Takes a shot just over the crossbar. Well covered by Templeman, but Sarah Griffith really starting to find her run into this game and looking very dangerous.
Well, that left foot, I tell you, is a danger. Morrison does really well to get across and just close the angle down for that shot.
Interesting seeing that shot of Jeff Hopkins. You wouldn't know he was a coach leading by 3 goals. As you touched on before, he'll be looking for them to win this half, not just take the 3 points. As we see a chip shot, very lucky there, Claire Quaylo. Well off the line, and again, Alana Murphy, the one with the confidence to take the long-range shots and not far away from adding to the victory lead. Set up now, Lauren Allen couldn't quite direct her pass. Now Goad, she's been everywhere over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Gets the ball out in front of Ayres. Ayres plays it for Madsen. A little deft touch inside. Long-range effort, not enough power to challenge Quaylo. But the early showings from Madsen are certainly promising. You'll see Griffith out the tape. Sends it back for Puxty. And come over, and it's going to be a yellow card for Alana Murphy as the 2 youngsters come together, Murphy and Puxty. And Grace, you just struggle to see at the moment with the Jets where the next goal comes from. The long-range effort before from Griffith was fairly spectacular, but they can't quite string together more than 2 or 3 passes to bring themselves out of defence. So see, opportunity now, Griffith. Again, will she take it on herself from long range? She does. Cops a couple of deflections. Falls to Brodigan. Brodigan nails it. First touch on the volley. And Newcastle Jets have gained their second. Only moments after we asked where it had come from. The deflections fell to the boot of Brodigan. And she adds their second. Newcastle Jets 2. Melbourne Victory 4.
Well, we asked the question, and Ash Brodigan has answered. That's a beautiful strike on the volley.
Newcastle now go on the quick attack from the free kick. Brodigan sniffing about, looking for a second. Andrews on for Griffith. Manages to get outside of the artist. Takes a shot just wide of the post. Templeman giving her defenders a bit of a rev up there, and rightly so.
Well, Griffith is really growing into this game. Just coming alive in the middle of the park there, combining really well with Tara Andrews, and she's absolutely sent Eliadis to the stands for that one. She hasn't quite struck that as cleanly as she would have liked, but again, once more, that left foot of Griffiths is looking really threatening for the Jets.
Taking a deflection, so we've gone for a corner. Agnew. Seen off by Beattie Goad initially. Griffith tries to win out on the edge of the 18-yard box, but instead it spills out for Goad. She was looking for Chidiak, but couldn't quite pick her up. Instead, all of a sudden, it's Konjarski on the attack. Looking for Griffith, pushing to the right of the box. But Kellard Knight clears it out. The experience showing there. Interesting story in terms of a late bloomer coming into the A-League women's competition. 28 years of age after having plied a trade in the Northern New South Wales NPL in recent seasons. Having overcome some certainly, I think, health challenges would be an understatement, Grace.
Yeah, it's quite the inspirational story from Stapleford.
You see Griffith with a cross into the box. No one there for the Jets to follow through, though. And it trickles away unthreateningly. And we'll come back for a goal kick. We see, again, just looking a little rushed. The Victory defence all of a sudden. Momentum really feeling like it's changed here at Amy Park. Those 2 goals of the Jets. You see it there. Ball cleared out by Victory.
A bit of interchange in that top 2 between her and Sarah Griffith.
As we see Quaylo out of the box now. An opportunity for Ayres. A little confusion in defence. Again, dealt with temporarily by the Jets. Madsen happy to settle it back. Murphy uses Madsen wide, gets around Stapleford. Doesn't eventuate too much, and Stapleford will be happy to see it away for a throw. Dangerous set piece now for the Victory. Chidiac to take the corner. Goes straight towards Quaylo. It's spilled. And Kayla Morrison's parried it into the back of the net. There's push and shove. We'll wait and see what referee Casey Rybelt adjudges here. Claire Quaylo clearly enraged as she gets back to her feet. Ball's gone into the net off Kayla Morrison. I think Quaylo's got to her feet. And we've got a goal awarded to Kayla Morrison. That's the first hat-trick of her A-League women's career.
Well, look, there's a little bit to decompress in here. The ball in from Chidiac to begin with. I thought for a moment there we were seeing the second Olympico in as many weeks from Alex Chidiac, but it looked as though a bit of a scramble on the goal mouth, and Morrison with the last touch to see, as you mentioned there, a hat-trick to the captain. But look, those scenes are not pretty. Don't like to see that kind of kerfuffle in amongst the game. Unnecessary, really. But as we have another look at this in-swinging corner from Alex Chidiac, and just a coming together of bodies, and that lash out there from Claire Quaylo, that's not okay. Not a good look at all.
And here she is, Griffith, in the box. Ball won well there by Kayla Morrison.
Oh, that is a beautiful challenge there from Kayla Morrison. What a perfectly timed slide tackle. A couple of appeals for a foul, but nothing in that. That's just a very experienced tackle by the captain.
Jarski does well to keep it in, but misdirects it to Kellen Knight. Markovsky wide to Goad. She's been a constant threat down that wing for Melbourne Victory today, Goad. She's added a few strings to her bow as Goad, as we see the corner come in dangerously to the back post. Quaylo gets one hand to it. Davis cleans up and clears it towards halfway. Some good performances from the Jets, certainly in the second half. As we see a challenge here, and that's not looking good for Taryn King, holding the back of her knee. She's also picked up a yellow card for her troubles. We see now Goad taking the free kick, putting it dangerously into the penalty area. And there goes the full-time whistle from Casey Rybelt here at Amy Park, and it's a comprehensive Melbourne Victory win in the end. 5-2, courtesy of a hat-trick to Kayla Morrison and a brace to Melina Ayres. Melbourne Victory running out winners 5-2.